But you know what? It's so funny. I'll just play the music in the background so you'll get the vibe for what the video
Hmm.
is gonna be. So let me see
I
if
liked it.
I can pull this up so you guys can see it. Hold on, let me pull this here.
Okay.
And then
I
I
like the music.
yes, I'm gonna put that music to this, hopefully.
Okay.
But
How
that's the goal. That's the goal.
did
And
you
then
create the music?
yes, it's our music, so no one else can claim it and say it's theirs. So we've got our own little song and everything. So
Oh, okay.
I know. So okay, I'm gonna share this with you guys so you can see it. And you guys, I'm actually going to chop all of this up. So this is kind of the opener, but I just wanted to
Hmm.
show this to you guys. Okay, let's see. Here we go. Okay. So here's the video. And of course, you got to have the music going, right? So this is what
Okay.
it's going to look like. Let's see if you can see it. Do you see that? There we go.
Ah! I love it. Oh, there's Tammy. Yay. Nice.
Your
Oh,
pictures
very
all
nice.
were so beautiful. I just wanted to tell you guys that. It came out so beautiful.
Ah,
Happy guy.
Now this
oh,
is a
that's a
little bit slow, so I'm gonna have to loop. And like I said, the music's not there, so I'm gonna loop it for you right now, real quick.
I love all of the
The
wording.
quotes,
Yes,
yeah,
I do too.
motivation to keep people motivated.
Hmm. Yeah.
I didn't expect we would have so many women raise their hands to do it, but it's beautiful.
Oh,
And
perfect.
Yes.
yeah, so this is going to be our little promo, and as you can see, I'm working on it now. And I'll
Hmm.
go ahead and stop it. Let me go ahead and stop this here.
I love it.
Stop the share.
Yes, indeed.
I just
Hmm.
wanted to know in the background, I'm working on stuff for us, so we'll get that together. And since it's really kind of a small group here tonight, I didn't expect that. I thought we were gonna have more people this first night, but I had a feeling because, and I'm going to talk about a couple of things. Or, maybe we can discuss them together. But I realized there were only a certain amount of people that had sent in their $5, and then I had one girl openly tell me she did not have $5. I almost cried. I almost
Mm.
cried. So I realized that we're all on different, like, we're all in different places. COVID
Hmm.
hit people hard. We're all in the struggle, and whatever we do, we're going to do as a group, as a unit. I believe together is how we are going to make things happen. Like, I think if each one of us, we could probably do whatever we need to do individually, but I think together as a cohesive unit, we could probably achieve a lot of stuff. So I'm really excited about that. I wanted to also figure out how I can break this into it so I can let all of you guys show up here. So I'm going to be working on that too. So I'm not just showing the whole time. Like, wait a minute.
Oh, you mean for
Here we go. Gallery view. I just figured it out. There we
yes.
go. Gallery view. So my thing is, for each one, I wanted to have us introduce ourselves. And so, Daria, tell me a little bit about you. Tell me a little bit about you
No.
and your journey and how you got to be a part of the BWP podcasters.
So a little bit about my journey, just very quickly. I have 30 years of corporate experience. In the last probably 15, 16 of that is in IT and in medical IT. So I am a techie, but most people don't know it. My background is military child, lived all around the world, and I have just become an author. And one of the things in the book that I wrote about I always said I wanted to be incognito. And my mother would always say to me, Daria, you are an almost 6 foot tall Black woman. There is no way you are not going to be noticed.
Yeah.
And because of my, because of my personality and asking questions, in the corporate world, it always turned out that I was asking questions to leaders, because I'm not shy about, if I see something wrong, I'll question. And people will look at me like, don't you know who you're talking to? I really don't care. I'm always respectful. But if I see something wrong, I'm going to ask. And because of that, it has put me in positions that are far, far, far from being incognito. So transformed to this world of BWP, it's like, okay, you know what? I need to be more out there. I need, and there have been several other organizations that I've been involved in. And so it's just been an evolving. And what I have found is that the stories that I have shared with younger women, because I'm 60, so I've been around the block a little bit. The stories that I have shared with younger women who are coming up in corporate America, in IT, and Amber knows about technology and that kind of stuff, that it's, if I can share something with them that will alleviate some of the heartaches and the headaches that I've had to go through, and probably you did as well, Amber, then that's what I'm going to do. So processing, and then my fun business is aging gracefully inside and out, because it's not just what you look like on the outside, but it is who you are on the inside. That's also going to impact what people see. So that's it. And on any other time, I would have condensed it very quickly. Since you and I don't know one another this way, other than I see you on BWP and on podcasts, this way you'll have an idea. Oh, okay, so that's who she is.
I'm so glad you're with us. I can tell you have so much knowledge and experience to share with us. And for the record, I'm almost your age too, but we're not going to talk about it.
Hey, but that's okay. You know what? It is a blessing. And this year, more so than ever, there are so many people who didn't make it to the ages we are.
Yes.
And each day that, I have a prayer group, every morning we pray. And each morning it is like, Lord, thank you so much for just the gift of another day. Yes. So it's not, so I will shout from the rooftops. I am not afraid to tell somebody will say, oh, no, I'm 60 and I'm proud to be 60.
It's so weird that, that you said some people didn't make it. I lost a good friend and he was 59, and one of the last things he wrote was, I'll be 60 in 8 months. And he never got there, not knowing, right? So that aging gracefully and just knowing where we are in our life and what we're doing and what we are here to share. I feel like I have a lot to share too, but it's only from the experience that we gained.
Yes.
You feel that way, right?
Yes. And not all of it has been good experiences, but if we hadn't gone through those things, I know I would not be the woman that I am now. And I know that, yeah, I had to go through that, but you know what? We don't have a testimony until we've gone through the test.
Yes.
So yes, it was hurtful or whatever, whether it was personal or work-wise, but there are young women who, even though everyone says things are so different, some things are different, but people are basically the same. People hide things differently, some things that people would have said to us, in my early career, they would not say it like they did, now. But there are other ways. And so I think it's just one of those ways to be able to reach back, to lift up. And, I don't have any children, but I have a lot of adopted young women. And so it's like, yes, I can impart something. If I can help you navigate something then yes. And that's what I want to do.
you. So, Amber, tell us a little bit about you. Daria kind of hinted a little bit about what you do. So let's see it. What you got?
Well, let's see. Let me, as they say, give the summarized version. I think we have one thing in common because I happen to be 57, which is not too far away, which is a great thing, and also at the same time, like Daria said, the way this you can call it COVID-19, you can call it coronavirus, you can call it pandemic. It's pretty much all three of those, but it really woke up the whole world to what is very important.
Mhm.
Does everybody remember that? Not necessarily.
Mhm.
But I will say that throughout this, it kind of opened the door more so to me trying to tell people about, overall as far as computers and technology, because I do foundationally computer training and consulting, mainly online for obvious reasons. Some on site I done, but I made sure I had my gloves and my mask and did
Mhm.
the 6 feet, sometimes further than 6 feet, safety and all of that. As far as before I went into business in 2005, I was laid off in 2004 for about, I think, like seventh or eighth time, something like that. But I've done other things. I was a everything varied actually. Runaway counselor, drug prevention, educator, counselor, support coordinator, administrative assistant, volunteer coordinator. So I have had nonprofit and corporate experience, even supervisor of some projects, that and also community wise. So I come from a, I guess you could say, a multi level type of career where I didn't do just one thing. Uh, some of it, you know, it was how it was. Some I was laid off from, but what I did, any experience I've had, oh, including a survey interviewer for uh, different projects, I always tried to take what I've learned from there and carried it on if I could to whatever I was doing next. But after being laid off for about 7:30 time, it was like, okay, and trying to find a job, master's degree and everything. It's like,
Mhm.
okay, I got this master's degree, I got all this. How in the world am I not finding a job? So I had a friend of mine who told me about a program that was here in my hometown, Toledo, Ohio. Uh, it's called Access Toledo. It's a nonprofit. What they do a 13-week training on if you want to be a small business, if you want to be an entrepreneur, this is what it entails. I took that and came December 2004, got my small business certification, and still nothing happening. Tried to have the unemployment extended, and the answer was no. Sorry, we cannot extend it any further. Uh, you ran up your amount of extensions. So with about $1,000 of some of the last unemployment money I had, a wing and a prayer, I quote unquote opened the doors to Your Computer Needs of Toledo LLC on January 1st, 2005.
Wow.
So my calendar years from January to December. I did it that way because in learning about your calendar year of your business, I said, well, I'm not necessarily sure, but I'm going to do January 1st to December 31st. That way I know when my calendar year is. So I did that and I just went for it. I didn't know everything. I didn't have everything in place, but I just went for it. Um, did everything go as planned? No. Did I make mistakes? Yes. Were there? You find out when you go into business, you who does and who does not support you. Some of them were some hard lessons, and sometimes you're surprised who does and who does not support you. As far as Black Women Promote is concerned, I found it quite different, refreshing, and everything, because there were like items and posts and everything talking about different things in business. It was like, I did not know about this. Wait a minute, let me. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What was I supposed to do? Wait a minute. What am I supposed to have? What?
There's
And
so
the
much
support.
knowledge there. So much knowledge.
Yeah, and let me tell you something. I have to thank you all, because there were times when it was like I was getting ready to throw in the towel. Honestly, I mean, I've had my bouts of it, but at the same time, there were some low points, and all the support and all of that. I greatly appreciated more than words can say, and I try to do what I could to, be any support that I can. Sometimes my post is a little lengthy, but it's like, hey, I said, believe it or not, I always have to say, believe it or not, this is the summarized version of what I'm talking about. If you want a detailed version, send me a message. We'll do a virtual chat or something.
I want to tell you something to lift your spirits. First of all, I think you're the most knowledgeable Black woman on computers that I know, hands down.
Thank you.
I've watched you, I've followed you, I've listened to you. You know what you're talking about, and you're refreshing to watch, because I can tell you're doing it from your heart. You're sincere in what you do. And can I also say that hands down, you have the most kick butt videos. I love your commercials. They rock. You are so cool. Your videos or your commercials on Thursdays are awesome. So
thank you.
Following that too, like,
okay.
She's got some good videos. So I love your work.
Thank you. I love you too. I love both of you. Thank you. I was trying to I said, is anybody saying this? I'm trying to make sure doing this. And Facebook can change up to where it has a headache for you sometimes. Because lately, these latest changes on Facebook doesn't always make it easy for you to upload a video. I'm like, what the hell, doggone heck? That's why sometimes I was late. It was like, it wasn't intentional. It's just that I gotta do it different now.
In my mind, you are the official computer woman. Now we know we got another one down here. I was
going to say, wait.
No. Okay, so wait a minute. Let me clarify, because techie goes into two different areas. When it comes to the actual computer, I know how to push the button. I can do the troubleshooting, and because I'm inclined that way. But I have never had an interest in the physical piece. But when you talk about software, when you talk about those type of things, that's my world.
Okay.
So the technical folks, I'm like, I love the technical folks. I bow down to the technical folks. But workflows and processing in regard to the software, that's my world.
Okay, all right. And I'm glad you mentioned that, because I agree with her as far as that's concerned. And there are different aspects as far as the computers and technology world anyway, because there are so many subdivisions and sub branches, and this specialty and that specialty, and this expertise and that expertise. Is like, you cannot lump us into one thing. Not everybody can do a website. Not everybody can take a computer apart and put it back together. Not everybody can train. Not everybody can do systems and all of that. Everybody in the computer and technology world has their specific specialty. Daria's specialty is her specialty. My specialty is my specialty. And Daria, I know you probably get it too. It's like, can you? No, that's not me, but I can refer you to somebody.
Yeah, there is that. One of the things that, in fact, I was talking to another IT person today, and I said what I was saying to her is that there needs to be translators. And that's actually how I got started in IT, in that the very first IT job that I had, I fell into it. It was like the doors open. It's like the Lord's like, no, this is where you need to be, because I didn't understand the language. And so I was the project manager for the whole division for Y2K.
Okay.
And I'd go into these meetings because, everything had to switch over, et cetera, et cetera. We'd be in meetings, and I'm sitting here thinking, I could be in a foreign country because I don't understand anything. So I would say to them, talk to me as if you were talking to a kindergartner.
Mm-hmm.
And once they started, and so when they would explain in kindergarten speak, because at that time I was a project manager, I had to understand. But what that first job taught me was, because then I parrot back what I thought they said, I could then go to the non-techie people. And I could explain the technical stuff. And I understood the business side, because that's where, my degrees are all in business, is I understand the requirements and whatnot. And then I could go back and then talk to the technical people, but then I could then talk to them in their language. So I've always said that throughout, it has just woven in that I am a translator. I understand both worlds.
Right. Okay.
And I can tell, because, builders get in there and start doing, it's like, that's not what the client asked for. That's not what they want. But that's what they said.
That's not necessarily.
Exactly. Right. And so, so I translate.
Yeah. That's obviously a needed profession. Someone needs to be in there doing that. So
she translates. I break it down. I'm the breakdown where it's like I can say anything from the RAM to the the motherboard or whatever, but then it's gonna be like, oh, by the way, this is what I said. What I said was. And then after I say what I say, break it down. Okay, the reason why I say that is because in order for your computer to work, it needs this on the inside, and you need to have a hard drive. Let's compare it to a dessert plate and a paper plate.
Yep.
You're having problems with your laptop, desktop, whatever. You keep running out of space is because you got the dessert plate type of hard drive when you really need the paper plate type of hard drive.
Right. Yep.
It's an easy way to break it down so they understand, like, look, you're going to make some changes.
Right. and as you know, Adrienne, I've been trying. As you know, it's like, y'all should, I tell people, y'all should see the emails I'm getting. 2021 ain't no plaything.
Yeah, it's going to be something in 2021.
Yeah. I mean, it's all good. Don't get me wrong, but it's going to be something else.
Oh, yeah, it is. It is. I think many people are thinking, oh, let us just get through 2020. And that
which is true.
Midnight, that everything will be just wonderful. But this is a process. And it ain't just going to be wave the magic wand. Right. There's still going to be struggles in 2021.
Oh, we've got a lot of struggles. It's a little overwhelming sometimes when you think about how it could possibly go. I mean, with all the things happening around politically and financially, with medically, it's coming from every angle, isn't it?
No angles left unturned. I mean, every facet of our lives, this thing has affected us. How we live, how we relate to each other, how we communicate with each other, which is, mainly virtually now, how the differences of how people are keeping themselves prepared and together, how people aren't keeping themselves prepared and together. It's like, it's COVID out here. Why are you fighting? You're endangering yourself right there. What was the fight about? Was it really necessary? What was it? What was so important that led you to do everything pre-COVID? And you're endangering your lives, and here you are in this situation. Y'all gotta go back home or wherever y'all gotta go, outside of anything else that happened and all of that. And
There's so
It
much.
is something how this place handles it is different than how that place handles it, and on from there, we all, I don't care where we are all around the world, we all had to adjust.
I wanted to.
Adrienne, where do you live?
Oh, I didn't talk about myself. Okay, so I live in Seattle, Washington. I was born in New Jersey.
Okay.
I was born in New Jersey.
Oh, Jersey.
Yeah, I'm a Jersey girl. I lived in Alaska for 15 years. I lived in Kentucky. I lived in California. I lived in Vegas for a while. Lived in Baltimore for a while. I've lived around, but we've been here for 10 years in Seattle. And
Okay.
I'm pretty much in my retirement. I always say that because I know I'm not going back out to get work nowhere. I just already know. First of all, I was smart and I raised a smart daughter and I made sure she got lots of degrees. So now she take care of her mommy. So I can
Oh,
put
okay.